On today's show, we are unearthing Rebirth secrets with DC co-publisher Dan DiDio.
Plus, Supergirl is joining the LEGO Dimensions universe, so get ready for DC All Access.
Hey guys, I'm Tiffany Smith.
And I'm Jason Inman. We pulled an all-nighter at Star Labs to bring you all the latest DC news.
The Girl of Steel is back in the spotlight and kicks off a brand new comic book adventure in Supergirl. Kara works to establish boundaries between teenage life and working with the Department of Extra-Normal Operations. And she comes face to face with her supervillain father faster than you can say Cyborg Superman. Tear into the Kryptonian turmoil in tomorrow's issue #1.
On the Vertigo side, the Fables universe continues to grow with the new title, Everafter, from the pages of Fables. Fan-favorite characters like Connor Wolf, Bo Peep, Peter Piper, and Hansel return to protect humanity from terrifying new threats in a world consumed by magic. Cast a spell with issue #1 this week.
The modern Stone Age family welcomes some extraterrestrial company to Bedrock in the Flintstones. What starts as a run-of-the-mill field trip to the planetarium quickly spins into an all-out alien invasion. Prepare yourself for a close encounter in The Flintstones #3 starting tomorrow.
In TV news, you can pick up the multiverse-spanning second season of The Flash on Blu-ray and DVD today. The Crisis on Two Earths forced the Scarlet Speedster to contend with an army of new villains and dangerous doppelgangers, and ended with a shocking shift in the timeline. Catch up with the Central City squad before Season 3 premieres on October 4th.
The LEGO Dimensions universe is getting a little more Kryptonian with the debut of Supergirl. Starting this month, Zor-El will be included in PS4 starter packs with the powers of flight, super strength, and heat vision, plus the ability to transform into a Red Lantern. If you've already got a starter pack, you'll be able to play as Supergirl through the Hire a Hero feature next year.
Rebirth is utterly dominating the world of comics with 12 million books sold this summer that offer some of the best stories told in years. For today's featured story, we have DC co-publisher Dan DiDio here to spill the secrets on what the future holds for the world's greatest superheroes. All right, Dan, thanks for joining us on DC All Access, man.
Thank you for having me.
Now, there was a lot of hoopla coming right off the DC Rebirth special, and a lot of momentum in this universe, like in terms of stories and characters and ideas. And how are you guys at DC going to work at pushing that momentum going forward?
We just announced the other day that we're doing this first, what I call our first real Rebirth event, which is the Justice League versus the Suicide Squad. And naturally, we have two very big franchises. That's just because of the fact that there's one has a film and the other one has a film coming up, but also these are so many fun characters with so many different dynamic personalities, and bringing them together in such a big story is going to be fun for us, and it's going to lead us into what we're calling a second wave of Rebirth titles, and leading that charge will be a Justice League of America book. It's something we announced early on when we first talked about Rebirth.
Well, I thought since we had you here, we would also talk through some of the DC titles and get your thoughts on them and how they push the momentum forward, and also if there are any little Easter eggs or things that you've noticed that maybe we didn't notice that you could tell us about.
Sure.
Let's talk about Detective Comics, of course, the rise of the Batman story.
Yeah. There's a lot of great stuff happening over there. I think James is doing a brilliant job with the book. It's wonderful to see a character like Batwoman coming front and center and standing as equals with Batman in that story. And I think one of the things you're going to see is some real dynamic changes to the Batman universe. And that is a very key moment. You know what? We had a lot of key moments when we built up to Infinite Crisis. I'm going to say that in Detective, we're going to have one of those moments there that's really going to launch a lot of changes in the DCU.
Let's talk about Action Comics and where Superman is going to meet Clark Kent, because there's been this human Clark Kent that's been wandering around the title.
The introduction of Clark Kent into the Daily Planet is not a new idea. Clark Kent separate from Superman is pretty new. And the fact that we had two different Supermans and that's sort of reconciled itself along the way, and now we have a Clark Kent there that's completely not associated with either Superman.
Nice. And let's talk about Wonder Woman 7 through 15, the return of Diana Prince and what that's going to set up for Wonder Woman, because she's going to have a big year next year.
Oh, next year is all about Wonder Woman. I mean, they've really been able to take so many different bits and pieces of Wonder Woman's history and is really pulling them all together in a wonderful way. The books look beautiful. There's an excitement there, and it's truly one of the breakouts of Rebirth.
Well, Wonder Woman's also unique in Rebirth that it is one of the titles that has two storylines. It has The Lies and it has Year One. And so far, the storylines have sort of connected together. Will they connect together?
I think in Greg's mind, it's all one big story, and he's just telling them at two separate times. And I think what's good is that I think it was important for him to put that Year One story in place to establish a lot of the backstory that he'll be tapping into moving forward with the series.
Well, Dan, thank you so much for talking to us about DC Rebirth. I'm really excited to read these books, and it's always a fun time when you come by DC All Access.
You know what they say, when life gives you lemons, make the panel of the week.
What's up, DC All Access? My name's Josh Riel. I'm the editor of IGN Comics, and we here at IGN saw that DC All Access hit a huge milestone, 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So we just wanted to say awesome job to Tiffany, Jason, and everyone else behind the scenes. That is a huge milestone. But I will say, I was the guest host of the DC All Access Green Lantern episode, so I feel like I deserve some credit too.
I also guested on DC All Access. Me and Jason talked about DC TV shows. I heard everyone loved it, so I kind of feel...
Yeah, but Green Lantern's better.
Yeah, but everyone loves The Flash.
Anyways, what we're here to say is congratulations, DC All Access!
Before we go, we've got a Mad Magazine prize pack to give away to one lucky fan.
It includes posters and a bumper sticker signed by Mad Magazine heavyweights John Ficarra and Sam Viviano.
For your chance to win, click subscribe and then let us know down in the YouTube comments what was your favorite panel from last week's DC comic books.
And some of you guys have still been using the old phrase, so make sure you use the new one, #MyDCAA sweepstakes entry, which you can see right down there. And if you want to check out the rest of the rules, check out the link in the descriptions below.
Plus, Mad Magazine has some hilarious posters over at their custom Zazzle store, and we put a link in the video description, so go check that out.
See you guys tomorrow.